Hello, I'm back. All right, so I'm so excited to share today's episode with you. Lazy girls make more money and more sustainable money. Very importantly, we're going to be diving into all the things for you to identify if you are working hard or addicted to hard work, because they are going to yield very different results over the long run and feel very different in terms of how you scale and grow a company. I am diving into how I recently had someone, I've just really been amping up the passive income side of my business. Well, of course, that is not totally passive to create. It's very much in the energy of build something once, make money forever. And I love having those vibes right along next to what I'm doing actively to support clients and mentorship. It's a big conversation. So there's so much in here for you, so that you can really, first of all, identify if you're kind of just have yourself on a hamster wheel where you are the bottleneck, no work gets delivered unless you do it, yada, yada, yada. We just maybe have a bigger bank account than we had before, but we're still playing out patterns by how work was modeled to us, by what we had to do to survive, perhaps earlier on in life, earlier on in the journey. And when we talk about really stacking real wealth, when we talk about, most importantly, stacking sustainable wealth, we want to exit that frequency. So we're just going to be talking about, different types of businesses. And of course, you can evolve any kind of business. So I want you to understand that no matter what you're doing or where you are now, there's always a way. But it's let's identify if we are working hard and we're going somewhere that is built to last, or we are addicted to hard work and we're going to have ourselves in grinding, burnout, crashing down, all these different things. Oh, fuck, I can't do this. Show up for 2 weeks. Now I don't make money. Oh my God, yay, just made all this money, but now I have to deliver all this shit. You know what I mean? There's just different ways to grow businesses. And, from what I've seen, the women who are yeah, I like sustainability. Yeah, I like ease. Yeah, no, I don't want to work that hard. Lots of times are making more money when they're smart and they're strategic about it. So we're going to be diving into all of that today. I do want to let you know as well that if you are desiring to have me in your business with you, which it's just been so incredible these days. It's been incredible for years. I'm these days. But obviously what's on my mind is clients that I'm supporting presently. And I shared an episode last week around my client who just had made $99,000 in sales in 7 days. I have just been another client. We've been really refining her positioning. So everybody teaches you, of course, you got to make yourself stand out. You got to be differentiated. And sometimes that can lean us to be lean real heavy on the methodologies. Don't get me wrong. I love a fucking methodology, and lean real heavy on the education and all of those different things. But it's been so cool to help her see herself more powerfully, to see how unique her work actually is. So sometimes when we're just oh, I'll just create a methodology, it just sounds kind of flat and it sounds kind of dry, because you aren't understanding the full power of what you do and how extraordinary it is. Quite often, even by comparison, who are to people who are literally making 3 times the amount of money that you are. And because you're so buried in your own stuff, right? You're not fully seeing it, and just all the different ways that we can hit it in your content and your positioning, to where people start to wake up and they're oh, okay, sorry, not hiring that 8-figure mentor. I'm going to hire her. She has got a different take. And I see the way she's living. I see who she is. I see how her brain processes. I see her, right? I see her inside of this. I don't just see a process. And when I say see her inside of this, I don't mean oh, now you put your babies on the internet, people feel like they get to know you. This isn't just about creating opportunities for sharing what's important to you, right? It's about actually monetizing who you are, not just showcasing it or just creating heartfelt moments on the internet. Lots of us are very good at that, but we want to be able to monetize who you are, not just show who you are. So it's been so powerful to work with her on her offer suite and helping her monetize who she is and her brilliance and just the insanity with which her brain works and how she sees things and all of these different things, which she was really undervaluing. She was not fully seeing. And so now to see it across her product suite, and relaunching spaces for her and to see people joining those spaces. Well, she doesn't really go through launches. I would say repositioning those spaces for her and just helping her really reestablish herself in the industry. And this is someone, who's already at 7 figures. Like, this isn't like a quote unquote only early entrepreneur quote unquote problem. It's something that really comes up even as we're making more money. So of course you could be early in business and you're like, yes, I want these things in my business from jump. Or you could be like, hey, Jocelyn, like I've already made 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it is. And I'm feeling like it's just like a little flat. Like the results maybe aren't popping the way we know they could be. The messaging, like, okay, it's like working, but it's not just like, holy fuck, take him to church. You know what I mean? And which was going to get you paid, especially when it comes to high ticket sales. And we really want to dial that in. So I am a genius at that. I am a whiz at that. And helping you see yourself in ways that you're not seeing yourself presently. And not just that, because this isn't just like, oh, come in and feel good. I'm also going to call your ass out, right? On very lovingly on what we are carrying around, right? No matter whether it be in the business or in your energetics, it can't come with you for where you say you want to go. Like, I see the shit your mentor is not seeing. I've heard this so many times, right? And also I just tell you because I want you to get the results that you want to get. And I'm secure in myself. Like, I can tell you the things that like need to be said, and my clients always wind up so grateful for it, right? And also, like, I always see a lot of opportunity. Not all, it depends. Everybody's business is in kind of a different place, but really optimizing the offer model. And I don't mean like 45 new offers, like I would die, you would die too, but I've always just seen a lot of money being left on the table, and we want to pick up that money without you having a to-do list that is 30 pages long. And once you do that, it's pretty wild to see. It's like, oh, you could actually stack another 10K a month to your income with shit you already have. And it's not about that you now need to bring 60,000 products forward front facing every day. Like, that's not really sustainable either. But it's like, let's create a system where we can add another 10K a month to your income with things you already have without you going through 10,000 launches. Like, wouldn't we want to do this? This seems obvious. Like, sometimes we're overly emphasized and overly focused on like something new, something new, something new. And we actually haven't maxed out the full potential of what's already here. Talk about lazy girls' ways of doing fucking business, relax millions. It's like, oh, we're taking the juice that we already got and we're figuring out how to like monetize that at 10x the level we're monetizing it right now, right? Without you needing to 10x your output to have the result, because again, not sustainable. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much hard work you can do. At a certain point, that ratio of making more money by working harder caps the fuck out. We just need to get smarter, right? Scale richer, not harder. Anyway, okay, so if you are desiring support, please know that I have one month intensive that is currently open for the month of September. I will take one in October. I will not do any in December or November. Of course, if you'd like to lock in longer term private coaching, there are 3, 6, and 12-month options. Please reach out to me for those. I take a limited number of spaces. I love them so much though, and I really go deep with you and pour into you. So it's really important that I just have a limited number of clients in private at all times. And very importantly, we have 4 spaces for 4 women enrolling in Fempire. Fempire is like my champagne room mastermind. It's just the fucking best. Like, I've been running it since 2022. The results just year after year after year are like absolutely industry leading, profound. We are talking like 10K months to 100K months, 30K months to 70K months, 20K months to 40K months. And always with more ease, right? Because I'm not talking about now you added 14 private clients and you tripled your income. Like, this is not smart business. I am all about let's leap, sustain, and then we're going to leap again from a very sustainable, scalable place. Let's get the time you're needing to put into your business down, no matter whether you want that to be calls off the calendar or however you're delivering your work, however you're launching your work, like whatever is feeling like you sort of think you have to do it because this is just how business goes. And I would argue like this is not true, but it's also low-key draining you, which is just showing you, even if it's sustainable for somebody else, it's not for you. Let's figure out how to scale that back and scale your time up. And also, let's fucking elevate your clients. Like, everyone's like, you got a few people there where you're just like, oh my God, okay. But like, you do it because you need the money. Guys, like I can't tell you the number of women I've helped where we just elevate their position. You don't even have to change the offers. It's literally just in your messaging and just in your content, totally different business. Closing sales with so much more ease, mastermind hard to sell to sold out, never being able to sell high ticket in the first place, full masterminds. People being fucking leaky in the DMs, asking questions about $33 offers. Now we got like clients paying $12K, pay in full. Like it's a totally different reality, and it's literally just a shift in your content and who you are speaking to and the level at which you speak to them. It's so huge. It's like literally just the fastest way to switch up who's coming into your world. I would say like, and to make money, but also how we're running our offers and that offer model and our strategies is going to make a huge difference for how you make money as well. So let's say all those things are in place, like your messaging is going to be fucking it. Right. And so for me, of course, I always have buying psychology behind how I teach you to optimize the way that you like to create. But it's not just about like, hey, here's a plug and play framework. Here's a script. Like, of course, I give you guardrails to work with, because otherwise, how the fuck are you going to know? You know what I mean? Like what we're doing here. But my big thing when it comes to messaging is really teaching you how to understand so deeply creating messaging that moves people and that leads them to that like, yum, yes, to the point where you're doing it naturally, right? Instead of being like, okay, I guess I got to switch these words out in this exact script. And like, I think this is hopefully going to work. Like nobody's making shit tons of, they may be teaching you to do that, but that is not how they made the money that they're making. And we need to understand the difference between even in how we learn in business, learning to create like a follower versus learn to create like a leader. So this is huge. And what's so cool, obviously, about being in Fempire, there's Telegram access to me 4 days a week. We have our calls. It's a very intimate group. And, you know, I'm able to really like be in there with you as you're evolving and as you're scaling, because there is test, there's refine, there's these just intricate details that we can feel a lot more supported and move a lot faster when we have that like regular touch point. And this is not one of these things where I'm like, hey, I run my business like this. You need to run your business like mine. Like I just have a brain for business in general. I was in sales and marketing for 15 years, from working for fucking BlackRock to down to like startups, right? So I have a lens for many different types of businesses, no matter whether you are a service provider in the coaching space, the healing space, the spiritual space, the health space, or maybe you're working with other firms. I've had loads of clients who are business to business. I have a strong background in that, who always do incredibly well in my world. So, you know, maybe you run memberships, maybe you're more high ticket focused, maybe you're more mid ticket focused, whatever it is, like just know this isn't one of these things where it's like I sell you a model, then you go replicate the model and that's how you make money. Because again, this is not how leaders are born. You guys are going to all have different priorities. For example, I've got like my moms who are projectors who are like, I just need this shit super simple. I want like 2 offers. How do we scale these? Then I've got like my Manny-gens who are like, no, I would die if I was only talking about the same 2 things all the time. But like, I also want it to be sustainable, scalable, right? Like everybody is different. And so I'm very much able to work with where you are in business and what you desire and help you scale the fuck out of that, rather than, and like your genius and your just like fucking that juice that drips off you. How do we monetize that? Instead of trying to like get you into a mold that is not built for you, that was not going to work for you. And this is why y'all keep running into trouble trying to invest like that, no matter whether it be for content, your offer model, all these different things, because it wasn't built for you in the first place. It was built for the person who built it. And for us spiritual women, we can't roll like that. So I'm the mentor for you. If you know you want support in these ways, Fempire is just so incredible. We also have, you get everything in the revolution. I have a content library for women scaling specifically to 20K, 100K months. We have like the feminine embodiment and healing area of the portal as well. And of course you have me, you have the women inside, and like, it's just settled. It's grounded. Like you will get where you want to go. I've just watched dozens of women do so who've gone through this space over the years. And some of the names that you see all over the internet today have like worked with me privately in Fempire, the revolution, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like, I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of being part of these women's journeys. And of course, everyone who is still here, it's just the best. So I have 4 spaces for months. Usually Fempire is a 6 or 12 month investment. So reach out to me and I can share more about it with you. Please know this is a limited time offer. And also, if you're wanting to join at a later start date, you are able to join on an extended payment plan if you desire to ease those payments for whatever reason or have a later start date. And then we, of course, have the Revolution. The Revolution is my membership mastermind. It does not have Telegram access to me, but you have my full premium product suite, feminine business, limitless wealth creation. It's great because you're like, hey, I just want to like be able to dive into what I want to dive into when, like kind of like do my own thing, get what I need when I need it. And then we have our 2 times monthly hot seat coaching calls. I am just as hands-on with y'all as I am with the Women in Fempire. This is not 100 people in the room. You'll 1000% get your questions answered. So if you're desiring to scale Relax Millions the feminine way, of course, backed by the masculine strategies that allow your feminine to flow and to really just be able to bathe in, yes, my strategic work and also the energetics and even the way that I teach strategy, because I'm so why focused and psychology focused. So you never feel like you're just trying to like build your business off a checklist. It's like you're going to grow your brain at the same time and you just feel so much more confident in how you make money. And knowing that like you're getting a lasting skill set, not just like, okay, how do I just do this latest how to? It's fucking game changing. I have women in there who are new to business. I have women who've already made 7 figures. Like everybody loves this space. So you can join us in the Revolution as well. The more time urgent opportunity, however, is Fempire, and Fempire is very specifically like you're scaling 20K to 100K months. And for the Revolution, you're able to apply credits. So let's say that you've bought Secret Money, Enchanted Sales, Magnify, Manifest, Receive, Overflow, or anything that you've purchased in the past 30 days, you're able to apply those purchases to the Revolution. If you are already in a space with me and you desire to upgrade into Fempire, please reach out to me and we can chat about doing that. I also want to remind you that you can rate and review the podcast and receive $200 off any offer in my business that is over $200. And this will apply to anything but Secret Money. Secret Money is such a fucking like no-brainer. It is my low ticks, high lux experience to turn the money faucet on where you want it. So many, oh my God, the body of work in there is just fucking profound. Master classes, master courses, activations, the behind the scenes trainings that I drop on a very regular basis are just like, fuck, usually you would have to pay $30,000 to hear this. We have quarterly hot seat coaching. Our next call is in September. So that is coming up soon and you're just going to fucking froth it. So you can get 7 days free when you join Secret Money. On the credit, I would say it predominantly gets used on the Cash Queen. The Cash Queen is going to be the offer to join to heal your relationship to money and learn how to command it and on purpose. So if you are, for example, experiencing somatic responses to money, you still feel anxious, you still feel avoidant, like money's on your mind a lot, you're feeling shame about debt, you're feeling like money kind of comes in randomly, the Cash Queen is going to help you resolve all of that, right? And actually just learn how to command money. So you've probably heard me talking about overflow lately. Overflow is much more anchored on let's learn how to hold more money and multiply our money, compounding money. But of course we need to receive more money in the first place to like do these things well. Cash Queen is a lot more anchored around the receivership piece and really shoring you up there and giving you more command over money. So the receiving is not just like fucking random. And it's all through an energetic, spiritual, and practical lens. So it's a little witchy, but the shit just fucking pops like magic. So highly recommend jumping in there if you haven't as well. And I am going to let you go ahead and enjoy today's episode. Of course, hit my DMs or feel free to email assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com with any questions. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, for the podcast review, just take a screenshot and email it to assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com and we will get, and let us know which offer. Sometimes you guys send them in and you don't tell us what you want to join. Let us know which offer you would like to join so we can make sure to apply your code to that offer. Love ya! So I have just noticed something that I absolutely cannot ignore. Absolutely cannot ignore. There are 2 types of women in the online space. There are women who are willing to work hard because they have a clear destination for where they're going, and the hard work they put in now is going to yield ease and dividends over time. And then there are women who are just working hard, and I would call addicted to hard work, and do not realize that the way in which they're working is not actually going anywhere. They are on a continuous hamster wheel of needing to work hard in order to receive money. In order to receive money, there has to be output required, and it never ends. And it's unsustainable. It cannot come with you like 30 years from now. And they tend to hide behind this like hustle. I'm going to do what it takes. Like a lot of times, these are people who did actually have to do exactly what the fuck it took and work really hard. And you may identify with this like in an earlier phase of life. Like maybe you were a single parent. Maybe your family was like in a very hard financial situation. Maybe you grew up with parents who had to like work around the clock, have 4 different jobs, or you did 2 or whatever it is. But I have noticed that people with that imprinting around how you receive money, they carry it into their business. And so what ends up happening is even though they make a lot more money than perhaps their parents made operating like that, or they made earlier in their career operating like that, the hamster wheel doesn't end. So it's like the same programming, the same I must work so hard for every single dollar with just a bigger bank account. But you're not off the grind, you're not off the hamster wheel. And every new project they start, every new initiative in the business, no matter what they say they are doing, every idea they come up with, every way they're in motion, always requires them to work in order to get paid, to work very hard in order to get paid. And once they are paid, they have to put in more work to get paid again, right? This is like the person who literally does not get paid unless they show up on social media. And you might have referrals or like whatever it is. But what I'm saying is like there is no system behind you that makes you money. So think about a very large corporation, a very large company. There are no large companies on the planet where the only time money is made is when someone shows up to request that money, right? Or when there is output in order for the money to be received, because it's not scalable, it's not sustainable, it can't last, right? So I'm not saying that that part of your business does not exist. So for example, the whole reason I'm bringing any of this up is yesterday, while I was like doing my thing, having my CEO day, that's when I work on things behind the scenes for my business. I don't plug into Telegram. I don't answer anything for clients. I don't have calls, et cetera, et cetera. It was quite exciting because I noticed that $2,000 came in completely new sales inside of offers that are evergreen in my business. I do absolutely no delivery for. And so what is so interesting as an example of a system that makes me money that I don't have to work for is someone came in, they bought a $33 offer, and then they immediately upgraded behind the scenes. This all happened within like about an hour, and spent $2,000. And that was just one person. So I don't have to do anything for that, right? There are systems behind that $33 offer that allow systems at checkout and once someone is already checked out that basically lead someone along a buying journey to where they would desire to spend that quickly. And also what's so interesting is like that person hadn't even hit my email funnel because this all happened like within an hour. So they were actually just also so moved by the product, right? And I'm positioning and creating my products to create also that desire to move forward. Like when you have a hot offer, it doesn't take a big lift. People want to move forward on their own, but you're also supported by having the systems in place so that people can like wind around in your company without you needing to do anything. So this was so cool, right? So while I was, doing the things that are forward facing in my company that grow the company, right? Which was like, emails, social media, blah, blah, blah. I was also making money that I don't have to do anything for. So the way that I see it, and why I honestly think lazy girls end up making more money, is because lazy girls who like to rest, who like to receive, who like ease, instead of using their smarts to keep grinding and having to do that same circular thing, work for money, work for money, work for new money, work for new money, work for new money, where literally if like you don't put in the work for new money, no new money is coming. Instead of doing that, we're like, I'm going to use my brain power to build, like if you think about the ecosystem of your business, to build an ecosystem within my business that doesn't require me to feed it all the time. Because why the fuck would I want to do the same thing over and over and over again? Like, I can just do something once and make money on it forever, which also gives you space to support clients. So for example, like, I still have masterminds, I still have a few private clients, but it feels a lot more spacious to support those spaces because I have money coming to me every single day that I'm not, quote unquote, doing anything for. So where I put in the hard work was building the offer the first time, really naming my articulation, building the messaging behind my brand, how to differentiate myself, right? I put in the, quote unquote, hard work around the important pieces of the brand and of the offer, so that building it, all those things, so it would sell. But then that allows me to step back, and the only new work I'm going to do around that offer is how to basically automate the selling of it, right? So that people come into my world very easily. They eat all the offers up. That means I'm working less, and I can either use that time to optimize growing my company in new ways. On client work, I still actually enjoy client work. But you don't want that vibe to be like, well, if you're not with clients, your company's not growing. And that's what ends up happening, because so many people have built sales systems where they are 100% the engine and there's nothing else going on. So if you don't go out and, quote unquote, make new money, then you're shit out of luck, right? And like, sure, you can have all the reoccurring income in the world, but it's still a ticking time bomb, because reoccurring payments don't last forever. Right? If you set yourself up where it's like, oh my God, now I got to go out and close those new sales, which obviously we all, like, there's two ways to make money. More money being made from the people already paying you, and new sales coming in. So it's normal that we're going to be making new sales, but it's like, what is the pathway for those new sales being made? So I like money coming into me from all different money pathways all day long, right? Because it creates a lot of ease, and it creates a lot less pressure for me to feel like I'm always needing to, like, refill the money cup. And it creates less pressure for me because every time I get paid, I don't also need to support that person, like, with my actual time. And when I am supporting someone with my actual time, I am being paid an amount that actually makes sense for my time. Whereas people who either don't desire that, or are not ready for that, or don't need that right now, they just want to get what they need in a program, or they're getting a taste, or whatever it is, they can go places that don't, require my time. But either way, it's like, oh my gosh, I can see someone buy a $33 offer, and by how I've set up the at checkout process, how I set up the back end, how I build the offers in general, they've gone on to spend $2,000 in offers that have none of me live inside of them in a matter of an hour. Like, isn't that so cool? And then for me, maybe I want, like, yesterday I was actually selling private coaching. Like, that's what I was doing. I technically trade my time for money there, but I really enjoy it, but I don't want to be reliant on it, right? So I built a business, for example, where private coaching has never been, other than the very beginning of my business, private coaching has never been more than 15% of my income. So as you can see, I can sort of like take it or leave it. But because I've created more systems behind me where people can come in once through my low ticket offers, through my freebies, et cetera, and wind themselves around the business without me having to do a big heavy lift. So it's very normal for the initial sale somebody makes to 5x right before they've even left checkout, or even off my freebies. Like, we make money immediately on my freebies before somebody has even watched the freebies. And then, of course, they go on the whole journey on the back end. It's like, it was more worth my time to take the time to set up systems and structure and automations around me than it was to keep needing to hawk things on the internet 24/7, because it's impossible for me to bring my entire company to the internet on a daily basis. This makes no sense, and I don't want to. That's exhausting. And also, I don't want to be in a situation where it's like, I'm just on vacation, or I'm living my life, or whatever it is, and then in the back of my head, I have, we're not making new money, like only reoccurring income is coming in. Like, that is not, I don't care what you want to call it. It may be better than a full-time job, but it doesn't feel 100% chill. Like 100% chill to me is new money is coming in every single day, no matter what I do or don't do in my business. And you might be thinking like, okay, well, I don't want to run ads, or you're not ready for them, or whatever it is. Well, that's fine, because nobody is just making money every day because they started running ads. Lots of people wind up burning through money every day doing just that. All that ads are doing is like, you created the ecosystem, you got it to work really well organically, and then ads just create more visibility on top of an ecosystem that's already working. That is literally like all that they do. So even before I moved into any realms of testing ads, right, I felt myself, people were still coming into my freebie, for example, nearly every single day, right? I'd still position my low ticket offers for them to be purchased with great frequency. So now, of course, it's faster because, for example, I have ads going, but all that ad is like creative targeting and ad copy put over all of my specific existing things, no matter whether it be a freebie or a low ticket offer, right? So that's, as you can imagine, like you can't just like throw money on something and expect it to work. The ecosystem works organically. You put paid traffic on top of it, it starts working. But my bottom line is like, I really want you to clock for yourself if you're someone who's just like, yeah, I'm willing to work hard. If you're someone who's addicted to hard work, because I actually know so many women, I'm like, she's just addicted to hard work. Like she will start like, it's like, okay, business after business after business. And it's like, where is it going? Things that aren't built for longevity, things that require you all the time, things that like always require life energy, or like there's nothing there, right? Once this is going on for like years, you have a pattern, right? You have a pattern. You might be good at making money, but like you actually don't allow yourself to relax. You're not allowing yourself to relax. And so you are creating a situation where that is not sustainable. That won't be able to come with you forever. And not only that, you're taking time away from your life just because you are committed to running this pattern, when you could be making the money that you're making now. And usually what happens is more, while also just having more time to live your life and be with your family, hang out with your kids, see your friends, travel, whatever it is that you want to do. Because why isn't that is what you say that you want, right? And so what stops people from being like, hey, let me build something that is more sustainable for myself, is like the idea of like how much work it's going to be. And I totally get that. Let's say you don't have any low ticket offers and you're like, oh my God, like, is this going to be hard to create? I'm like, no, this is like the easiest shit in the world. Or you're like, yeah, my sales pages aren't really selling. When I send emails, people don't really buy, or like whatever it is. Like normally it's just tweaks, right? It's just tweaks and refinements. And if you are like, well, everything I do is live or requires my live energy, and I don't really have anything that is evergreen or largely evergreen where I just pop in for support, whatever it is, you have to remember too, by the fact that you've been working with people, the length of time that you've been working with them, no matter whether that's private coaching or whatever you do, whatever it is, you have so much intel already. So the thing is you're just repeating the process, doing the same thing over and over again in order to make money. But if you just basically like, what is the word? I want to say it's not archive, right? But if you basically like take your knowledge bank and like break it down into a course, break it down into a program, which is very easy because you have been doing this thing live with private clients or whatever over and over and over again. If you actually just like systematize it into a program, right, and have the support to, and I always talk about this because people are just like, oh, I know what to put in there. I'm like, babe, there is a difference between creating a program that sells like fucking wildfire and creating a program that is just a program. And so if you actually want your program like popping off the fucking shelf, you need to know how to create hot offers that people actually want to buy, which is literally how you create the offer and how you position it. So as people see what it is, see how it's structured, and what's being covered when they're going to buy, every single word, every single way that you created a module, every single nook and cranny of your sales page, of your messaging, every single piece of this whole pie is set up to sell like fucking hotcakes for your luxury buyers. Your luxury buyer might be different than my luxury buyer. I'm not talking about how much money somebody has in the bank. I'm talking about the fact that they don't run around with fucking price objections. They want the result, right? They're perfect for your world. They're just like, boom, ready to go. Like, show me where to pay. That's your luxury buyer. The person who is ready to go, the type who's gonna get the best results in your world, who is like not playing head games. Like, they've transcended that. They actually just like want to get from point A to point B. So the way that you create your offers matters so much. And so I just want you to understand that, because I think what people do is they're lazy with their offer creation. They just assume they know. And then they try to take an offer that's kind of like so-so and like put some like sexy packaging around it. And that won't work, because even if you can get people to buy, if you do that, they don't then feel. There's two types of urgency: internal urgency, external urgency. So what people experience when they're in our paid spaces, right? They're either experiencing internal urgency, like, yes, I would desire to move forward, or they're not, right? And also, not everybody needs to move forward right away, but you know what I mean. If you think about, let's say you have every system in place, every automation in place, like these things are working for you. If you think about it, it's like you want people to not, you don't want it to be like, well, they've got to hit the email funnel in order to move. Like, that's kind of doesn't make any sense. Like, the email funnel is supportive, but nobody's going to buy just because of words you said in a funnel. The offer will have had to move them on its own. So for example, even that client yesterday who I said came in off a $33 offer and wound up buying like $2,000 once all the different programs and at checkout things were added out, all the different things, like, they hadn't had time to even go through my email sequence because it was the first day. So what happened was they liked the offer so much that they wanted to upgrade into other places in my world. So the ideal situation to be in is your offer is so fucking good, no matter whether it's low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, whatever you're building, to where people feel internal urgency to desire to move forward. And so that's why you want to be thinking about this when you create your offers is, am I positioning inside this offer? Like, am I teaching? Am I setting people up to feel a sense of internal urgency? This is not one of these things where in a fucking paid space, I'm going to teach the what, not the how. If you fucking have someone pay you and you're not teaching them how to do the thing that you said you're going to teach them to do, we have a problem. But there is specific ways to create your offers and to teach, well, obviously, like, still sounding like yourself. Like, you never want to be like off a script or anything like weird like that. But we want to give people that internal urgency where they're like, yes, if this was this good, I can only imagine what's coming next, without them feeling like 100% totally like saturated and it's like, good God, you know? So especially like in a low ticket offer as an example. So you really want to be thinking about that, because then the offer itself, when it's positioned well, it creates that internal urgency. Then all your external urgency kind of like markers, such as like your email funnels, any discount, anything like that, right? Those things, you're not looking them to do the heavy lifting, which they're not going to do. People are not going to buy something just because there's a funnel. They're not going to buy something just because there's a discount expiring. They're not going to buy, people will not buy anything they don't want to buy, right? People will only buy if they feel a strong sense of internal urgency. And then these external urgency things that you create, such as a discount or whatever it is, those just move them along faster, but they were already interested in buying from you anyway, right? So anyway, I just want to share this because I just noticed it makes me sad actually that I see how so many women are so blinded, quite frankly, a little bit by their own work trauma and what they had to do to survive in the past, or what their families had to do to survive, that they are just on like another survival. They're on like a high, it's just like another level of survival, but with more money in the bank. And it might work now, but like, is it going to work 10 years from now? Is it going to work 15 years from now? And remember that it's not about like, oh my God, there's something wrong with you if you actually want to build relationships and work with people. I do. But remember that like also in the background of my company, I'm always getting more scalable, more systematized, so that there is the power of choice inside the company. So that free, as I joke, doesn't mean like traveling, like my business becomes like, we can run it from any, like tied to a ball and chain from anywhere around the world, right? I don't like that pressure. I like showing up, and I feel most magnetic when I show up from a place of like, and I want to, and I like to, but the hard work I put into my business is so that the business can make money every day that isn't reliant on my energy, my availability, what is going on in my life. and like we get to have both, and it's actually so much easier than you think. Like I noticed even the resistance I had because I was always like, for example, just very strong at like what we've been taught feminine business is, which is just sort of like, get up, share from the heart, feel the pull, go, like all those things. I made a lot of money doing that. And it was like it felt very authentic to me to do that. But you get to a point where you've been in business for a certain number of years, like that loses its fucking sparkle, you know? And you're like, okay, like, yes, I know how to do this, but is this how I want to be making money? And for me, the answer is no. And I actually feel most relaxed when all the pathways are set up to make money around me and I don't have to like do as much. And then it's funny because then I actually desire to support more clients because I feel more space and it just feels like chill. I can also tell when women are addicted to work because of how they show. It'll feel like it's like this, and it's almost like they're screaming on the internet but without realizing. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm a very direct communicator, but I can feel this like urgency in their voice where it's like, if people don't buy from this, like, I don't know what to do. And that is like a scary place to be in your company where if people don't buy from this, I don't know what to do. So instead, the position I prefer to be in is like, cool, like I'm selling this thing. But either way, there's the systems and structures in the business where like, yes, let's say I do a sale, even if like worst case, not as many people bought from that sale, it doesn't really matter because there's the systems and structures in place, right? For people to still potentially come into and buy that offer daily, whether they bought during the sale that I ran live or not. Like that is how I want my company. That is what it feels so easy and stress-free to me. And I just want you to think about, like, I remember even in the beginning of my business, so first I was doing private and then I was like, this is not fucking sustainable. Like, I don't even have to get into why, right? And I realized that in like 2 minutes. And then I built my first like high-end group immersion and it was like 3 months and it was $3,500. And I mean, that's literally when I started having 30K months. And at the time, I did a weekly call. So what it required of me was like a weekly Q&A call. Everyone had all the content. And at the time, this did change, but at the time there was like sub coaches for some different areas that I didn't teach as well. That's all I was doing for 30K months. I see other people, they want to have a 30K month. Girl, it is like we have walked to China and back in terms of the amount of work required to build and sustain that 30K. And we are working like 5-6 hours a day. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, you don't have to do so much. And my clients were having incredible results, scaling 5-figure, multiple 5-figure months. And like, it was easy on me, right? 50K months, all I did was add. So I had that main offer, which was the cohort at the time. I literally added what is now the Cash Queen, which is an offer about money, healing your relationship to money, learn how to command it on purpose. And I had I remember my first 50K month so clearly. And it was like, I had the cohort. So I would show up for 1 call a week. I had my passive course, the Cash Queen, and I had run like a special for a few women who wanted to do like 6 weeks of private. I don't remember what they were focused on. Like basically I think they were focused on creating a product, and then we were like creating that product together and like coming up with all the marketing and selling around it. That month, that was all I was selling. That was all that was going on. And that was my first 50K month. And I want you to think about how you have your business set up right now and what you would have to do to make $50,000. Like, have you actually put on paper? A lot of people don't do this and they wait for magic money to just like somehow follow the sky. Have you put on paper how many people you would need at your current prices in these offers to have the size business, the months that you want to be having? And can you actually look yourself in the face and say, this would be easeful to support, this feels super doable, and not for 1 month, but for the next year? If the answer is no, this does not feel sustainable, this does not feel super doable, this feels like I'd have to break my back, or it just feels totally unrealistic for the clip at which the volume I have coming in the company, or you would have to like raise your prices to rates that are just like, you're like, I'm not doing that right now, then we need to make a change. And it shouldn't come from this place of like fear or, oh my God, am I doing it wrong? But from a place of like, no, I genuinely want to. Because if I think about how I've shared with you guys that I felt, for example, on the back of my first $1 million year, and I was like, that was cool, that was fine, but like, I'm not doing that again. Like, I was like, the way that I made that money was aligned for me for the years leading up to there. And then all of a sudden I was like, not aligned anymore. So I was like, hey, well, we've got to like do this a different way. I didn't want as many masterminds. I just didn't want so much of me inside the company. And I didn't want for me to need to be the sales system all the time. It was actually less about, for example, and also I had 4 calls a week then, and I don't like that. Now I have 4 a month. I like that way better. So I was like, I like this money. I don't like how it's being made. But keep in mind, all the way up to that first $1 million year, I was totally fine with it. And then all of a sudden I wasn't. So I spent more time than I would have liked in resistance on the back end of that around like, because I hadn't really thought, and this is why I'm bringing it up to you, I hadn't really thought to like, well, if this feels like too much, like what would be next? Or if you couldn't actually show up for these spaces, how would this be working, right? Like I didn't think past that because I was just like, honestly, a pretty like new and excited entrepreneur. And I just hadn't thought about it until I did. And then I feel like it took longer than I would have liked to figure out what I wanted instead. And so then I felt kind of heavy. And then I was just like, what am I doing? And I actually did do a lot of things that contribute to me building the systems and structures that I like today. Like I kind of swung on the pendulum and was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with selling low ticket. Cause I do generally like selling low ticket offers. Like I just like how punchy and streamlined the sale is in terms of like how you market it. So I created a bunch of low ticket things and they actually led to, of course, like me learning how to sell, not just straight into my mid and high ticket offers, but leveraging a low ticket offer to sell other spaces. From there, the Secret Money membership was born. That's one of my favorite money memberships. I became very skilled at selling low ticket. Like the fastest organic sale of a low ticket offer I had was like 100 people. I had 84 people sign up into the 10K month method actually in 48 hours. Like that's fucking insane. That was organic. So what did I have time to do? Put up one reel and some stories, right? Your girl knows how to sell low ticket. So that has actually served me because now, let's say that my front of house is these like low ticket and free offers. I know how to position them for them to sell with a lot of ease and really fast. So it's not like I was wasting my time, but I could have been moving faster, and I would have been moving faster if I realized that optimizing my business to be more structured and systematized around me to bring in sales without me was easier than I thought, and that it wouldn't leave me sounding like a bro marketer, wouldn't leave me sounding, because this was kind of up for a lot of like spiritual women, sounding like a robot, not like myself, all of those things. It was like, oh, I'm just gonna like take all my existing magic that draws people to me, when I show up and I'm live and I'm selling and all the things. And it's like, oh, I'm going to put it onto sales pages. I'm going to put it inside these emails, right? Like we're just going to package the magic, and it works just the same. And when people want some of me live, they can come into offers where there's absolutely still support with me. But the thing is, it's like, I'm not addicted to working hard. I will work hard to get to a destination, but I am not addicted to working. Like I can easily spend the whole day in the sun reading, just being like receiving life, with friends, like traveling. I haven't been traveling as much lately because I've been more like head down on the next level of my company. But you know what I mean? Like being with my family, my niece and nephew, my dog, like being present feels really good to me. I don't want to spend my whole life working. I want to spend my life like living, but I'm willing to work for that work to have a reason behind it, and something where it's like work hard once, make money forever. I like work hard once, make money forever. And it's never once. You're always like refining things. Like for example, I run ads. Your ad creative will sometimes wear out. I'll need to create like new creative or, different things like that. But God, isn't that so much easier than me running a whole fucking launch? Like I would say so. And there's spaces I have, like I have the Revolution, I have Fempire, I have some private clients, like of course, where I'm showing up to support, but most 99% of the assets have already been built for people to take it on their own, and then they come to me with questions, right? So I put in the work to build the offers that would support my clients that also can be sold evergreen with or without me at any time, and they are. And then my clients get what they need, And then it's very light for me because I show up and I answer the questions. And if there's any questions that I'm getting often that have not been answered, I simply answer them. I like package up how to teach it, or I teach it, right, and put it in a program. So it's like I've taken everything that's in my brain and I've placed it into the business instead of people needing to come plug into my brain every day in order for me to make money. Like, that's a ticking time bomb. So I want you to look at like, can you look yourself in the eye and say that the work you're putting in is to build something that can keep making money on repeat? Or is it like you're always needing to like, it's like that cycle of like new money, new work, new money, new work, new money, new work, new money, new work, and nothing's being built to last. Nothing is being built to last. Because a lot of people are not honest with themselves about that, and they're running around, they're doing photo shoots, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're like putting a whole marketing engine around something that's not built to last in the first place. Right? And there's lots of ways to scale, right? Ads is not the only way to scale. You can scale through a team, right? Like, I haven't done this as much yet, but we're getting to move more into it. So I wanted to first work on sales pages, my email funnels, get my low ticket offers situated, create those like many pathways behind the scenes in my business. So people come in once, they move around for all over. Have that all be automated. Yeah. Okay. And remember, you're doing one thing at a time or you'll die. Like, I would die. So, and when something feels hard to do the first time, remember, like, you're getting good at something that you're not good at yet. So it's like your first email funnel, you might be like, I actually want to collapse and die. Or you're trying to get good at sales pages or whatever it is. But what I always told myself is like, next time will be easier. Next time will be easier. And you know what's really fun? Just waking up to money of people buying things I'm not selling. Being on my emails in the middle of the day and people are buying shit I'm not selling. I'm like, this is fucking freedom. I don't even talk about this offer and it's selling. Amazing, right? Like, that's what you want. So anyway, you can scale through a team. So I have a friend who just had a baby and she's a very successful company. All of her marketing, everything's organic, but she set up the exact systems that I've talked to you about. She has the freebies. She has the low ticket offers. I don't know for her if she's doing a solid job of like this at checkout sequence where you create like the little buying frenzy while people are already in a buying mood, right? And then you've got your email sequences. I know she has email sequences. I don't think she does the buying frenzy thing from what I've seen. But either way, right, the systems we can add that. We just want to be strategic about it, not just like add a bunch of random offers for people to buy. If you're not strategic about it, they don't buy them. So that can all be set up, right? But then you can scale through a team. So you train your team on what stories to put up, what to post, right? The emails are already automated. Let's say we're going to add some nurture emails to the automated emails. Like, we can have those set up. We have a content bank, for example. For each one of my offers, there's a content bank where we save our highest converted, highest performing emails, and same thing with my social media on every single offer in the company. So it's very easy to look back, see what already worked. I can jazz it up. We can have team create, a new carousel so it doesn't look exactly like the old one. It's kind of the same thing. A new reel, so it's not exactly like the old one, but kind of the same thing. Propose emails, I can train them on, I want the emails going in this order, blah, 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 right? You know what I mean? So it's like a little bit of a lift, but this is done. And then I could just approve everything for a month if I wanted to do it that way. I have not done this, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. And we are going into a little more systematization because eventually I do want that. And then, then everything is going around me, but I would still pop in. I can still pop in. And, maybe it's like, hey guys, we need to make sure in stories that this offer goes in there 2 days a week. This offer goes in there 2 days a week. And I'll do the rest vibing on life, right? So you can scale through team and never put a dollar towards ads. You can be like, I don't want to build a big ad machine, but you know what? It'd be really nice to be building my lead gen, having new people coming onto my list every day. You can have fucking $5 a day going towards a freebie, have a tripwire upsell, people buying as they download your freebie and to pay for your ads plus make profit. That's what mine do. And then they take in the freebie, there's an email sequence and they go on their journey. You can literally do it on one thing. That one thing makes me thousands of dollars a month. Just that tiny little thing. It's so crazy, guys. Once you get out of this mindset where you've just been doing business a certain way for so long and actually allow yourself to scale a real fucking company, which means it can operate. There's ways it can operate without you. It is so liberating. It is the biggest feminine exhale on the planet. But the first thing that has to be done is to look at, are you someone who just is willing to work hard because there's an end result, we're going somewhere, or are you addicted to hard work because we want off that hamster wheel because it might be working for you now, girl, but it will catch up to you eventually. And you just don't have time, and this is not what you signed up for. And so I have, so first of all, Fempire, I have 4 spaces currently enrolling, 4 women, 4 months. Normally, Fempire is a 6 or 12 month space. Right now, you can join for 4. If you're like, hey, I want to work with you closely to take all my fucking genius, you're already making money, you got hot offers, clients come into your world, they love fucking working with you, you know what I mean? Like, this is not an issue, but you're just like, hey, we've got good stuff to work with. Like, I'm making money, the offers are there, people get great results, but I need help, like, establishing this ecosystem where I can fucking breathe some more and I can show up on social media because I like to, but not like as a fucking lifeline, right? Where it's like, I want to be supported by my business, not have my business running me, even though I love my business. am so love walking this journey. It has been so amazing to see the women in my world take their existing offers, take their existing genius. And it's just like, we just like smooth it out, I'm like, what is the analogy that I can think of? I'm gonna add effects using hand gestures. Thank you, Instagram. Okay. But you get what I'm saying, right? It just like smooths the engine. It's like we just smooth the engine. We take so much of what already works and we just put systems around it. It's actually just like so straightforward. And then all of a sudden you're waking up to money. You're like, wait, what did they buy? And you're like, oh, that? Oh God, I haven't talked about that in a month. You don't want to talk about anything all the time. You want to be able to sometimes just talk about one thing for a while, but everything else is still selling. And it's so much easier to create when you think, and it's so much more freeing. And it's like so much more like just fucking life proof. You know what I'm saying? And just like, it's just like, you can just do what you want. I just like it so much better. And it's been so cool because I have so much more room for people because I'm not like in this constant, like, well, I got to show up on social media and sell and blah, blah, blah. It just feels so good to know the money's coming in no matter what. And like I said, I started to create this before I ran a single ad and was still having this experience. All ads have done is just amplify it. So anyway, if you're desiring support with getting your business to more sustainable, more scalable for what feels good for you, and then also doing it in a way, because you guys have probably already started down the road of like the templates, and you're like, I sound like a robot. I hate this shit. Like, what is going on? Trying to stuff your genius through 6,000 people's different frameworks who don't understand you. It was never designed for you. They do not understand spiritual women. Like, the people who work in their world are super 3D. Like, and this ain't you. Like, I'm your girl to help you. Like, I totally get it because, like, my voice can't be cramped like that at all. I can't be, if I'm watered down, dimmed down, like, my shit is not selling, right? So I understand the need to, like, to have frequency live inside your quote-unquote money pathways, your automated system, whatever you want to call it. Your clients don't all just want to okay, so how to move clients from face-to-face to self-work. They all just want face-to-face time. How to start slowly moving them off face-to-face one-on-one is even possible for existing clients. Babe, that's just what you sell, probably. I've never had this problem. So if you're a healer, I'm assuming you're a healer, because a lot of healers who have the hardest time with this, like psychologically, but for your clients, it does not actually matter. So first of all, you've only trained people to buy proximity. If you've only trained people to buy proximity, then they think I need proximity to get a result. And remember, so here's what I saw. I saw that the more I gave my clients that they could do on their own, the faster they got results, because instead of being with me for every single little piece, they could do this whole lift right on their own time when they felt like it. And then when they're with me, instead of me teaching what's in a program or whatever it is, we could actually optimize, we could actually refine. And you feel like, well, Jocelyn, you're a business coach. Like, for one of my highest performing masterminds, Feminine Magic and Money, still has self-paced content, all of these different healing modalities, guided journeys. Like, it's all quantum healing, quantum manifestation. There's no business coaching, right? So I'm using that as example from like a healing side of my world. That space is one of the spaces that has like an insane level of results. So and then there's life pieces too. So your first step though is like, you need to learn how to sell people evergreen work. Guys, you need to remember whatever works in your business is what you are good at selling. That is all that is going on. So you probably feel very confident in your ability to get people an individual result because you are very practiced at it. So then therefore you sell it very confidently, you position it very well. So they're like, yes, I should buy this. So then you train them that way, and that's okay. And you can have people that you do that way with forever. But all that happens is, let's say you package your work up. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to go 0 to 60. You don't have to pendulum swing where it's like, we used to do all this one-on-one and now there's no access to me and everything is in a digital product, right? This step is like, okay, let me do the step down from just one-on-one is like, okay, a little more scalable is like, let me do a mastermind, let me do a group immersion. So there's so much juice for you to plug into. You can take it at your own time, whenever it's good for you, yada, yada, yada. And then we're going to be doing these personalized pieces on my calls, right? And then maybe you need to train your audience around the power of healing and community, because you already know, I'm sure you've already seen, people don't tend to heal the fastest alone. We tend to heal the fastest when we are surrounded by other people who hold our vision with us, who are navigating what we're navigating, so we feel less alone. Because what does trauma do? Trauma makes you think that that something is specifically wrong with you, and that what you are experiencing is like so different and so terrible that you can't talk to other people about it. So you internalize it and create shame, and like you already know all the things that it does because you're a healer, right? So then we're like, oh my God, it's just me. I must need to do this alone. But when you get in a room, right, which people are coming into your rooms, and there's all these other people who have all these different variations, right? We might have different flavors of, we might have had different actual experiences that created the quote unquote trauma, but the imprint will be the same. Scared to use the voice, right? Scared to be seen. Anxiety around money, like attracting narcissistic relationships. You already know all the things that people experience, but so everybody's just dealing with different versions of the same thing. So when they get in a room together, and I've been running high ticket group spaces since literally 2020, people move so, of course there's just some people like private, and like I totally get that. But like on the whole, they just move so fast because there's like, oh my God, there's all these other women like me. Wow. There's other spiritual women who also just who want to be like strategic. Oh my God. I thought I was the only one who had that feeling. There's all these other people who have this feeling. Like, we just find out how alike we are. So I don't think the problem is the client. And also remember too, sometimes as you shift your business, there's like a little shedding. That's also very normal. Like obviously my client has, I still had amazing clients in the beginning, and I've had who are still here, but you get the whole, on the whole, I would say the type of woman who comes into my world now is just a more, quote unquote, higher caliber. Cause for me, it's not really about how much money it's making. It's like about how they show up as a client than they were in the very beginning. Like, this makes sense. So I would say, yes, it is possible for existing clients, but I don't even think you need to worry about this as much as like the majority of my clients, for example, are not other business coaches. I do have clients who are business coaches, but I have such a spiritual community. So I have lots of healers, et cetera, et cetera. And it's never about the fact that people think it's like you've trained them to think they need private, but all that needs to happen is you learning how to powerfully build a higher ticket offer that people want to buy, where yes, they can have some access to you, but that's not exactly how we're getting the transformation. And you're just showing them how this is like so fucking amazing. People buy this stuff all over the internet. I'm like, please give me something to do on my own. I don't have time to sit on a call with you and do every little thing in my life. Like, I have shit to do. I am not looking to spend more time on my phone. Are you looking to spend more time on your phone than you need to be on it, or on Zoom? Or like, guys, remember the number of people who are busy, who have a life, who, yes, we desire healing, we desire transformation, but like, we're not looking to need to spend more time on Zoom. I'm like, less time on Zoom, the better, please. So how can we set this up where I can do as much as I can on my own, listen while I'm in the bath, on a walk with the dog, whatever it is, and then we pop onto Zoom. I don't want to fucking talk to you every week, even though I love you. I would rather die than be in a container where I have to be on Zoom every week. Like there are people in your world. I don't mean for a shortened time. Like if I join a mastermind, like obviously, and it's like I'm doing like a 3-month mastermind or whatever. Like if it's a short stint, yes, because I'm like, yes, let's do this big thing real fast. But in my long-term spaces, like even when for me, I'm like, cool, 2 times a month, like we're fucking good, you know? So I think it's just about learning how to create offers, hot offers that people want to buy, and just you understanding how to build it out, and then it becomes attractive. And then you know what started happening to me as I made the transition? All my private clients wanted to come into my group spaces. Even if they were working with me private, they're like, oh, I want to be in that group too, right? Because the way they see you selling it, the way they see you positioning it, the way they see you, like, they're like, oh my God, I'm missing out by not being in the fucking room. So it's just a skill set thing. It's just a skill set thing. There will be some clients who always and forever want private, but you don't want your job to be taking people through, like even long-term private clients, I would have them have access to things that they can do on their own to like, so you mean you can take that lift off of you, like always, you don't want to be spending your time with private teaching. You want to be spent on personalization. So that is my answer. I think we just have to learn how to build hot offers and sell them, which I can absolutely help you with. And I know exactly what you're going through. So many of my clients are healers and it's really powerful, but you want to have a really full cup. Okay. So can you guys please be self-honest around, are we working hard, or we're down to do what it takes, or are we addicted to hard work? These are 2 very different things. And where are the places where we kind of have this circular relationship with money, where it's like, wow, I only make money if I do this, and then I have to put in my time because I've got to deliver something because I made the money, and then we do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again. Where there's a hamster wheel, let's clean it up. And remember, it's easier than you think, and I made it feel like it was going to be harder than it actually is once I was in motion. And now it's cool because I've learned so much that I can help my clients with. So if you are someone who's desiring to normalize 20K to 100K months, please come grab one of the spaces in Fempire. You can also come into the revolution, which is going to be for you if you are a visionary, you see beyond the veil, like you do not just want to be in the super 3D side of the internet, and you also just don't want it to be like woo woo all day long and what the fuck are we even building, right? You want grounded feminine strategies so that you can feel like we are actually going somewhere in a repeatable, sustainable way. And you also want to have room to flow. So Fempire and the Revolution are my 2 masterminds. Fempire is just a smaller group, and there's Telegram in Fempire, whereas there's not in the Revolution. But both spaces are absolutely incredible. It's more just like, what mastermind vibe do you desire right now? And Fempire additionally has very specific content for scaling 20K to 100K months. And we have a feminine receiving and healing portal. However, also in the Revolution, there is so much energetic work, activations, in addition to all the strategic pieces. I have literally helped thousands of women package and sell their work, coming from so many different backgrounds, no matter whether they're business to business, web designers, healers, health coaches, like literally just any relationship coaches, other business coaches, money coaches, financial experts, like literally anything, witches, anything under the sun. I have supported and packaging it and scaling it in ways that feel really good to you and really helping you define and position your brand and your offers, where you just you're not like the rest. You're not like the rest. It's always going to feel harder to make money when you blend in with everybody else, but you don't have to be like trying not to blend in. You know what I mean? It's just that like your genius and who you are so like baked in to every aspect of your brand that you naturally stand out. So the people who are perfect for your world very easily just like boop, like magnetize towards you. You want the vibe to be like that. So please reach out to me about taking one of the 4 women 4-month spaces in Fempire. Fempire is normally 6 or 12 months. Come join us inside the Revolution. If you've purchased anything in the past 30 days, or you're inside of Overflow, Magnify, Manifest, Receive, Secret Money, or Enchanted Sales, you can still use those credits to upgrade to the Revolution. I have very limited private spaces enrolling for September and October. I will not be taking any new private clients in November or December. So literally, this is like your time if you desire to work with me this year in private, either to start in September or lock in anytime in the September, October timeframe. If you're already a private client, I will keep working with you through the end of the year, but I will not be starting any new private clients in December and January. So anyhow, love you so much. Hit my inbox if you have any questions. And also you can come into the Secret Money membership. If you're like, hey, I like the sound of this, but I want to get a taste, you can join the Secret Money membership for 7 days free. It's a fucking vibe as well. You receive all my masterclasses, all my activations. There's like a Telegram area of all my riffs, my behind the scenes, my like one-off trainings, what I'm doing in my business, the hard shit I'm learning, the good ideas I've had that are working, like all the different things. Secret Money is like such a fan favorite in my world. You can join free for 7 days, see how you like it. And then if you decide to stay with us, it's literally less than like $3 a day. Girl, you're spending more on your morning coffee. Okay, hit my DMs if you have questions. I love you. Bye. Hi, gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed the episode. This is your reminder that you are able to rate and review the podcast and receive $200 off any offer of your choice in the business, with the exception of the Secret Money membership. As I mentioned earlier, this is most often used on the Cash Queen. I'm going to leave the link in episode notes. We have 4 spaces for 4 women, 4 months, enrolling in Fempire. This is going to be the Champagne Room Mastermind to join. If you are really desiring to normalize for yourself, leap into a normalized 20K to 100K cash months, and you want a very intentional space to do that from a grounded place and from a place of scaling in ways that are going to work powerfully for you, not just what works for me, where there is that full focus on all the key areas in business and not just like diving in on going so hard on one thing, but we're really thinking about like your offer strategy and your offer stack. We're really thinking about your thought leading content. We're really taking into consideration your feminine sales systems and how we can get each of your offers powerfully selling the next, so you don't feel on the hook to need to be like forward facing, leaned in all the time, trying to get everything to move. We want the business to actually support you, right? Rather than you like driving the business along. Like that is the queen's position to be in. And so of course we want to hit things from all of these different levels strategically. And then of course, those elite wealth energetics that make you sticky to money and clients, that make you have a really secure relationship with money, that allow people to see you as someone, right, where they're like, yes, it is totally normal for me to put 10K, 20K, 30K towards her, to join her program, to join her masterclass, right? Like that receiving of large money and that whole way that you exist with money comes like very naturally. Like this is huge, especially if you're someone who sells any type of high ticket or wants to. It's gonna be hard to receive like $10,000 if you receiving $10,000 like feels like a big deal, if it feels out of reach, whatever it is. So we want to take you to new levels within your wealth frequencies as well. So the results that continue to come out of Fempire are just wild. I actually made you a playlist. It's not a cassette tape or like a CD. Whenever I say playlist, I just like automatically think of like, remember like making, I don't know, because the 90s we had both, right? Like it was kind of like the end of the cassette tape era, but like I still had some of those and we would like, you know, write on them like what they were. And then we did CDs and we would make playlists for our friends and like all the vibes. It was so cute. So whenever I say I made you a playlist, that's what I think of. But this time it's on YouTube. This time it is on YouTube. So you can listen to the experiences of so many women who've been inside Fempire, who have doubled, tripled their income and their ease too, because who the fuck cares if you just now have 65 private clients and are exhausted? Like this is not the point. So just what we did strategically, energetically, the healing that occurred, being in my world for them, just all the things. So I made you a playlist of those experiences. It's called Fempire Client Love. I have the link in episode notes as well. Of course, the Revolution is enrolling. That is going to be my membership mastermind for scaling relaxed millions, the feminine way, with the masculine strategies to back you up, baby. So this shit can be repeatable, sustainable. Now, of course, when you're in Fempire, you get access to the Revolution. You also have your own content portal with trainings around scaling to 20K to 100K cash months. They're both strategic and energetic, feminine receiving, healing, and all that yummy juice as well. That's in Fempire. But anyways, the Revolution, because you're like, well, Jocelyn, you just told me about 2 masterminds. The Revolution is going to be like, you of course want to be mentored by me. And you also just kind of want, it's a little bit more of like a, hey, you want to touch base with me twice a month. And on the other days, you just want to kind of like do your own thing. You're not necessarily being like, hey, I want to be like all in it with you 4 days a week, right? You're just like, I'm doing my own thing. I have access to everything that I need and the content when I need it. Revolution, also, you're going to get 2 6-week masterminds a year, which is so insane. Normally, that would cost you $5,000 a pop each, right, to come into. If I was running them separately, you have the full feminine business product suite, limitless wealth creation. And it's really just about, of course, like scaling relaxed millions like your way, but not in this like generalized, like your way, do whatever the fuck you feel like, which is like have no idea what you're doing, right? It's more like your essence, your potency, who being paid to exist, but we're being paid to exist strategically, right? Like what we are always doing in my world. So the relaxed millions, the revolution is going to give you everything that you need for that. And you'll have those 2 touch points with me per month. I'm super intentional, very like hands-on. This isn't like sit in the room with 100 people, watch 5 people get mentored, you never get a question answered. That is not what we are doing in here. So come into the revolution. Doesn't matter if you're scaling 10K months to 100K months, like we are building mastery. You're not like jumping around from program to program, like you're settled in. You're in a space where you can get to be known, where you can really be supported. Again, my membership model is not, there's 200 people. So why are we even, you know what I mean? What are we doing here? That is not what we're doing. So I can support you still, just like in Fempire, scaling your time out and your income up, refining your offer suite, that thought leading content around your offers and also your brand, super fucking important. Just the wealth energetics, your human, how you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about the business is very much going to show up in all the different places. So essentially, let's double your income. Let's double your income. Let's do it fucking this year and make it look easy. So you can join us inside the revolution. Credits from enchanted sales, overflow, magnify, manifest, receive, and secret money apply. You can send me a message or email assistant@jocelynkellyreid.com to apply your credits. If you're in an existing space and you want to upgrade into Fempire to come hang out with us for 4 months, of course, you're welcome to stay if you desire to. Then please shoot me a DM and I'm happy to share more about Fempire, the investment. We can chat about if it's the right place for you right now, et cetera, et cetera. You can check out the revolution in the link in episode notes. And as always, come join us inside the Secret Money membership. That is going to be my low ticket, high lux place to turn the money faucet where you want it all the way on. You're going to love everything that's inside and all my behind the scenes riffs. And it's just the fucking juice. Like there's women who've already invested into, you know, multiple years inside Secret Money and I only launched it about a year ago. It's just like a fucking vibe. Plus you get the best opportunities to upgrade from there into anywhere else in my company, which is a vibe too. So you can join for 7 days free. That link's going to be in episode notes. I love you guys so much. Reach out to me with any questions. Come grab your space in Fempire. You'll be like, what the fuck took me so long? Why did I not know about this earlier? Why didn't I do this earlier? My mentorship is just elite. And I can very easily own that. Okay. Love you. Bye.